Good morning and welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead. This is Matthew. Today I'm going to take you along as we get a lot of stuff done. It's an exciting time trying to get prepared for Rosie to farrow her piglets in about mid-September, and there's just so much to get done, so I'm out here early this morning. Got to start off with dropping off a little bit of lumber down here where I got to finish up some gates and stuff. Then we got to get those breeder chickens moved to that new chicken coop, the composting chicken coop that we put together a few videos ago. Got to get that done. Got to wake up Rosie here in a little bit. She likes to sleep in and it's still a little bit early, so going to feed her in just a little bit. There's a lot of stuff to get done just with anticipation of those piglets coming. It's almost like a newborn child. You're just trying to get a bunch of stuff ready before it gets here and trying to make it all happen. And so today it's another 90+ degree day, so I'm out here early. I know I'm going to get nasty and sweaty again today, but that's just part of it. So plenty of water breaks. Lisa's going to get out and help me on some of the fence. Got to get some electric ran. Just a whole bunch of stuff to get done today. So if I'm a little bit fast-paced this morning, it's because I just feel like I'm in a rush. So we're going to get started. I'll bring you along for some of the stuff today, and hopefully you can take away something from what we're doing to help on your homestead or your homestead to be. So thanks for joining us on the Piney Woods Homestead. We're going to get started. Step one, getting the lumber off. And we're just gonna throw it off because we gotta move today. We'll get back to this later. I just need my gator empty. Let's get on to the next thing. Get these new breeder chickens some water, because they're moving in here today. And to start with, we just hang it just off the shavings, so they got to reach up there and get it. And I got a sophisticated way of making that happen here, as you can tell. A little bit higher. Don't want them getting shavings in it. That's probably about just right. Now we'll move on to the feeder. Got to pull this feeder down. It's a hanging feeder. And we had it like that when we were moving broilers around. It worked out easy. We kind of raise it up, move it. I ain't got to pull a feeder out, put it back in, that kind of thing. Got to get it down low enough for these chickens though. Now once I get it lowered down to the height that I want it at, I take this little bar that swivels on top of the feeder and I put that in so that these chickens ain't gonna be laying up in the feed all night long. They got something that's going to keep them from being able to perch on it. There you go. If you can see that little swivel bar, it's up on top. Chicken hops up here, spin them right off. Now if you wondered about where's the roost at for these chickens, I ain't worried about that just yet. We'll let them get a little bit bigger. We'll put some roost bars in here. They'll be just fine on top of these shavings for now. A little bit of chicken feed. Just like that. Now Lisa's got them babies into their new crib. We're gonna get on something else. Now these rangers got some more room to range around since those breeder chicks are out in their new home. Now we got to get down here and get Rosie fed. It's about that time, and I got to get on to work with some fencing. Get this thing done. I'll bring you along as I have time today, show you the progress. Good morning, Rosie. She's really starting to show now. About 3 weeks to go. Got 2 more gates done down here the other day. Well, there's the first gate that you saw. There's the Fairwind barn gate. Put those slats in there so Rosie can't lift up with her nose and beat that thing to death. Pan over here. There's another gate. That's where we're going to bring her in at from the pasture once we get all this electric installed today. It'll probably take 3 or 4 or 5 days to get her to even step across the boundary where that electric has been. She's just that smart. Now it's back to my favorite pastime, driving T-posts. Now I got to get the rest of these T-posts in around this Fairwind area while Lisa tries to figure out how to avoid the camera. Alright guys, T-posts are in for the Fairwind area. Heart's pounding. Good exercise this morning. To work on building another gate or 2 I got to get done while Lisa's working on cleaning the fence line with the loppers so that when we put the electric in, we ain't got to worry about no interference. So there's your little view. Got 1 T-post per panel. But remember, we got 4x4s buried almost 4 feet in the ground on each corner. And there will be electric ran in here as well. Remember, a little bit high on the first section for Rosie alone, and the second section for those piglets after they're weaned to learn the electric. There'll be a couple of them in there. Now right here's a section of electric that we're going to be moving because we're expanding this entire pig pasture. I'm going to show you an old-timer's way of checking electric fence. Now you can buy those electric fence testers, but if you don't want to buy one, here's a simple way. You take you a long piece of grass, piece of brush like this, and you hold it up to the fence. You'll get a slight shock in the end of this through your arm if that fence is hot. So let me show you. Y'all thought I was really going to do that, didn't you? Now it does work, and that is how I test fence. But I know this fence is hot, and I ain't touching it because I don't feel like getting that hit this morning. Rosie, she ain't gonna touch it either because she knows what it's all about. All right, got another gate done and installed. Still got another gate, 2 gates actually to build, but they're not necessary right now. But these 4 gates, actually 5 if you include the Fairwind hut or barn, they were necessary to get done before we could get Rosie in here. So now we have these gates completed. Now we're working on electric, or Lisa is back there in the woods. Now these little clips are kind of a pain in the posterior to put in, especially on hog panel, just because it's so much thicker than regular fence wire. But you need to get them on there. And you can do it. You just gotta work with it. Don't let it beat you up. And I like to get it on there and then secure it with a little bit of twist. That way I make sure it doesn't pop off of there. And that's fairly simple to put those little gate clips or those little T-post clips in. Just takes a little bit of patience. You can do it. Now along each of the wooden posts, we'll be coming back with an insulator that's going to nail into that post. And don't nail it so snug that you break that insulator. Simple as that. Go along all these wooden posts and we'll get these in. Alright, it's coming together, y'all. Gates hung, T-post driven, some insulators in here, a little bit of wire ran already. Soon Rosie will be coming on up in here and starting the nest inside of her farrowing barn. That's the plan. Got about 3 weeks until she farrows. And man, we are excited. There's your shot of Rosie. She's been working hard today. You been working hard? Or hardly working? Here's your shot of where Lisa has been getting all these insulators in today. It's a tedious job, but it's required. You got to do it in order to get this electric in here. So guys, thanks for spending just a little bit of time with us today on the Piney Woods Homestead. We hope you enjoyed getting to see the new chickens go out to their composting coop and a little bit of work here on the electric fence. We're almost done. Tomorrow we're going to pull our wire. We've got to cut into some existing wire, tie onto it, and go ahead and pull and get that into the new section of fence that we ran, so we can start gradually moving Rosie closer and closer to the farrowing area. It'll take her a few days to get used to that fence being down and to get the courage to step across the line where the electric used to be once we move it. But here's a little something neat I wanted to show you on the way out. We've been finding these everywhere we push dirt along this creek bottom. And I don't know if you can tell what it is, but they're chippings from where somebody way back when was making arrowheads or tools and things of that nature. Just something really neat back here on the homestead. We love living back here, and we love living this way. And once again, if you're watching this, you probably do too, or you'd like to. So guys, jump in, join the channel, hit the like button on your way out the door, give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank y'all.